Holy goddamn shit, YouTube. I did a video over 2 years ago about the possibility of Fable 4 even existing at all, but that it maybe was being developed by the Forza Horizon studio Playground Games. Turns out, all of it's true. Well, today with the Xbox event, we actually got a damn trailer for a new Fable game. It's a brief cinematic. It doesn't really show us anything. It's more just kind of confirmation that it exists. Similar to, if you go back a couple years, Bethesda revealing Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6. It's kind of that. We don't even have a release date, release window. We actually don't even have a platform. This trailer doesn't tell us if it's going to be Xbox Series X, Xbox One, or both. That being said, however, a lot of sources are saying it's Xbox Series X. I don't know if that was said maybe in the live stream. I'm just going off of the trailer. Also, the game is apparently going to be on Xbox Game Pass, which isn't really surprised. That kind of happens with every Xbox game these days. One of the upsides to this trailer, besides the graphics, because the graphics are good in the cinematic, is it has that Fable charm and comedy. This fairy's flying around, you have the narrator talking about heroes and quests and all this other stuff, and then the fairy gets eaten by a goddamn frog at the end. That is 100% what we want from a Fable game. Fable is like 50% comedy, if not more. It's one of the major appeals of the series. It's something they do that not a lot of other, if any other RPGs are really doing. They have a lot of comedy in their games. So other than the game just being revealed, there is some news and takeaways from all this. The game being on Xbox Series X exclusively, and apparently Windows 10 as well, means that it's probably not coming out for at least a little while, a couple years or so, because I believe Microsoft has said that like their exclusives aren't coming out around launch, so that means that this game's probably not going to be out for a little while. Plus, a lot of the games that are coming out on Xbox Series X at launch are also coming out on Xbox One. And since this is not apparently an Xbox One game, it means it's probably not coming out for a little bit. One of the other takeaways is that the narrator on the trailer was apparently Stephen Fry, who voiced the character of Reaver in Fable 2 and 3. What we don't know is if he's reprising his role as Reaver for this game, or if he's just an entirely different character, or if he's just the narrator. Something we're actually not sure of right now is whether or not this is actually quote-unquote Fable 4. Like, is it actually a prequel or a sequel to the original trilogy, or if it's a reboot. And it seems to be implied that it is a reboot by the end of the trailer. It just shows the word Fable. And also on the Xbox website, it says a new beginning for the legendary franchise, which also seems to imply some sort of a reboot, which I think is perfectly fine. It's not Lionhead Studios anymore anyways, so I don't necessarily want them to continue along the story of the original 3 games. I don't mind Playground Games like doing a completely new story or universe within the Fable lore. That being said, however, there is one major takeaway from the end of the trailer that seems to imply that we're still in Albion and possibly even still Bowerstone. And why I say that is because at the end of the trailer, we see this very big town in the background with a gigantic castle in the middle, but it's a very distinctly designed castle. You see this bridge, archway over to a tower. It's exactly what the Bowerstone Castle has, Fairfax Castle, Castle Fairfax from Fable 2 and 3. So here's a quick side-by-side comparison of the castle from the trailer and Bowerstone Castle, Castle Fairfax, whatever you want to call it. And I do think it is still Bowerstone. I think it's very intentionally designed the way it is to let everybody know. Like, it's not, Lionhead Studios anymore. It's not the people that have made all the Fable games you've played. It's maybe not even a continuation of the Fable story. It's possibly even a reboot, but it's still Albion. It's still Bowerstone. It's still the Fable that you know. Other than all that, the only thing else we have to go off of that's potentially information for the game is a leak from over a year ago, which I believe I did a video on, but we'll just kind of cover it really quickly. There's also apparently some video, like gameplay with this leak back in the day, but I believe I never got to watch it. But the leaker claims that the game is first and third person, in-depth character creator, completely open world, no guns, can ignore the main quest and never become a hero. Players can build towns, ties into the main quest heavily if you get the bad ending and fail. Multiplayer, Unreal Engine, and the story synopsis, according to this person, is Albion and Aurora are gone, lands reduced to fables. The Spire was rebuilt and used by a Mad King to wish that an asteroid would strike the planet. He also wished it would happen again in the far future. Eons later, and everything is new, medieval themed, new continents, and you have to stop the destruction of the planet again. Teresa and a Heroes Guild are preserved on another planet via a demon door, time travel heavily involved in play, Jack of Blades returns. Now, whether or not any of that is true remains to be seen, of course, but the main reason I wanted to cover it is because all of this stems from a leak a couple years back. The leak was that Playground Games was making Fable 4. Here we are 2 years later, over 2 years later, and Playground Games is making Fable 4. So I just want to cover that leak in case it is true as well. Kind of my final thoughts here at the end. A new Fable game absolutely has me excited. It's been over a decade since a mainline Fable game. We had the spin-offs, Journey, Legends, all that other shit. But Fable 3 came out in 2010. It's been 10 goddamn years since we've had a mainline Fable game. The thing is, though, does Fable 4 sell an Xbox Series X to me? As of right now, no, obviously. A new Fable game, I'm not running out right now and pre-ordering my Xbox Series X. We don't even know when this game's coming out for one. But we don't even know what this game's going to offer either. It's entirely based on the gameplay. Halo Infinite definitely hasn't sold me on an Xbox Series X yet. Once we get an actual trailer for this game, which I'll probably end up doing a reaction to whenever that happens, and some actual gameplay, we'll have a better understanding of what this game is and whether or not it's worth purchasing. And also, there's that rumor we covered a little while back that the Xbox Series S, which is like the all-digital version of the Xbox Series X, could be as low as $200. If I can get into next-gen gaming for $200, then yeah, I'll probably end up picking this up on launch. But naturally, all of that remains to be seen. I want to pass off to you guys, of course, what are your thoughts on a new Fable game, man? See, I'm a fan of Xbox. I've been gaming on Xbox for a long time. Not necessarily a fan of the exclusives. It's just the platform I've been on for a very long time now. They need to knock it out of the park. Platinum Games needs to absolutely fucking destroy it with the new Fable game, because Xbox needs a good exclusive. And I really hope that they do. But either way, my dudes, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Fable 4 content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @dashingdavid, at my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Not all stories have happy endings.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Low Gain, or leave it like Cobain.